Thank you.
There was a few things that I saw for the first time. But it was like, but it was fair and I was able to figure it out. It was like obvious things and things that you should know about. Like you should be able to identify just by the description. Oh, okay, this must be the one. So if you haven't seen it, don't totally freak. I think you'll be able to figure it out. Thank you.
Like the stuff he teaches you in lecture will help you on the lab exam, and the lab exam will help you with lecture. Like you kind of have to combine everything for this course.
So try and not compartmentalize the two like subjects or different like, parts of the class because there's a ton of overlap. So you can really like think your way through the lab and see if you're struggling. Like, if you can't figure something out, just like go back to lecture in your mind and like try and like logic your way through it.
Okay, so what is this thing? Does anyone know? You guys see it?
Dark brown lobe. Yeah.
So the pig doesn't have a bilobed thyroid gland like other species. It just is like one blob, basically. So I think he tagged that and it caught some people off guard because it doesn't look like a normal thyroid gland does. But the pigs only have one lobe of the thyroid. Yep.
Oh. You just said
Okay, so how, if he had a lung out of the pig just sitting on a table, how would you be able to identify it?
Well lobulated and well lobulated.
Okay, good.
So how would you be able to
Endotracheal bronchus.
tell if it was a ruminant lung or a pig lung? Yes, so the ruminants, the cranial lobe on the right side is subdivided into cranial and caudal parts. In the pig, there's no division, it's just a cranial lobe. So he had that on our midterm. I believe it was a pig lung, and he's like, what species is this from and why? So that's what he wanted you to say. Pig because the right cranial lobe is not divided. Just as simple as that. Yeah, so it's pretty nice.
Okay, so how about the same thing for the liver? If you just put out the liver on the table, how would you be able to differentiate it from the Okay, no renal impression? Okay.
So the pig liver is the best lobated and lobulated. You guys remember that? So lobules is like your histology. You see all the little lobules, and the lobes are the big lobes on the actual liver itself. So if he tagged this, what would you guys say it is?
Push it back down.
Quadrant.
Yeah, so this is your left lateral lobe. What's this one? Left medial lobe. So what's this structure right here? The gallbladder. So what is this lobe roughly around? The quadrate lobe holds your gallbladder. Okay? So what is this? Right medial lobe. And this is your right lateral lobe. He tagged one of these for us on a pig liver. So don't just say right or left, you have to say right or left, lateral or medial. Okay? What if it was a ruminant liver, what would the situation be? So would you see so would you see lateral or medial lobes in the ruminant? No. Right, it would just be a right lobe or a left lobe. It's important to know stuff like that for him. Okay?
And you would start with, if you're on the right side of the body, you would start with the left lobe.
The left lobe is ventral.
So how would you describe the shape of the spleen of a pig? Yeah.
He didn't do this for us, but apparently in other classes before us, he put a bunch of spleens on the table as well, and was like, which species is this from? So like, it might seem kind of dumb to learn it, but all those different shapes and stuff with the spleen in your notes, make sure you know it. But he started that with you guys today, right?
Not yet.
So
You guys
just,
know the order and then
Like one slide.
yeah.
But just for all the like different organs or shapes, just in general. Okay, so what unique structure are we going to see in the stomach of a pig? Yeah.
Something diverticulum?
Yeah, the diverticulum ventriculi. And where are we going to find that?
near the pie.
Yeah. Taurus pyloricus is
This is
better than
about
pyloricus.
the fundus, right? So it's like it's just like the top part of the stomach, the pouch. So basically, he had a stomach like cut out of the actual pig as a stationary midterm, and he tied the diverticulum ventriculi. So it's just like an extra sap-looking thing that comes off of the stomach of the pig.
You sort of can. If it was out at the bottom, you'd be able to see it. If you look in the lecture notes,
See this part up here? It's not really easy to see because it's still in, but it would be this pouch thing up here. And he'll tie like a piece of string through it, so you'll know that he wants you to say what the pouch is. It's pretty obvious with stuff like that.
so the only other structure that you would theoretically confuse it for is the Taurus pyloricus, which is what you saw in the ruminant as well. And that's more of like a firm muscular structure.
And that's where your pyloric part of your stomach becomes the duodenum. So that was another structure that he tied in our midterm. So it would be this part here. If he cut this part open, you guys all see that?
Do you guys remember seeing it in your ruminants?
No.
No. Okay, so it's basically on the inside, it's just like a little knob, basically.
And it's like really firm feeling, it's like muscular. If you cut open your ruminant,
Taurus pyloricus.
well,
Yeah. So the pig and the ruminants have a Taurus pyloricus.
Yeah.
okay. So how would you describe the ascending colon of the pig? Spiral. Okay, so where is the apex located? Yeah, so it's left and ventral, I believe. And then again in the pig we have centripetal and centrifugal coils. And what's the difference between them? How can you differentiate them? Okay.
Has centrifuge. No.
Yeah, the centripetal is sacral. So it's not super obvious in this specimen, but theoretically that would be how you could differentiate them. You could also just trace them. So again, wear gloves.
So what causes saculations?
Taenia coli.
Coli. How many Taenia coli do you need to get one sacculation? Need two. Okay, so you can't really see it on this, but if you see like a white band of, it looks like what, like connective tissue kinda, that is the Taenia coli. So if he puts a pin in that, he wants Taenia coli. If he tags like I don't know, you can't really tell in this specimen, but if he tags something like this, that's a sacculation. Does that make sense, the difference? So the Taenia coli is the band of muscle, and the sacculation is like the pouch that it forms. What's that?
Taenia coli is the muscle, I think.
Can you say hostra too?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hostra or sacculation.
Okay. So what is unique about? Let's see. Where are we going to find the sigmoidal flexure on a pig in relation to the scrotum? Cranium, correct. So I think that may have been something he tagged. It's pretty obvious if you look at it. It's like an S shape.
Yeah, I think he tagged it in our like little practice.
Okay. So just take a look at that. It is what it is.
All the differences between like whether the sigmoid flexure is cranial versus caudal to the testis and all that, you test stuff like that. So again, know all your species differences.
Okay, so another structure that I think was tagged and is unique to the pig is this structure right here. It's like a little pouch in the prepuce. So what do you call that? Preputial diverticulum.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is right there, cranial to the penis.
I remember this really well. He said he would never tag it because he couldn't find one, and then it was on our lab exam, so we know where it is. He just put, I think it was like a stick or something, and he shoved it up in there. He's like, what is this? So,
Yeah. Okay, so just basic pro stuff. This is the testis. If you tag this structure right here, what would you call that? Epididymis. Okay, and how about right here specifically?
Head of the epididymis.
Yeah, that's the tail, body, and the head. And then what do you call this right here? Okay. Yeah, that's the pampiniform plexus. And then if you tag this whole structure right here, what would you call that? The spermatic cord. Yep.
So how do you tell the difference between the head and the tail of the epididymis?
But it is more dorsal.
So what structure does your tail lead into?
Cord.
Yeah. So just follow it, and whichever part leads into the ductus deferens is the tail.
And you just have to remember there's that little flexure, you know, it's the head, it's just curved back up, yeah.
I think with accessory sex toys, like for us, we had like a removed structure. I don't remember if we had.
There is something over there that he had tagged that was like, people were saying was head pylori or something. It was from like today in the back or something.
Pigs do not have names, that's correct.
I could be wrong, but I feel like pigs don't.
Neither do cats.
Cats.
Okay, so what are the two weight-bearing digits? Three and four, and then what would you call these two? Okay, and yeah, paradigits. Which two are the paradigits? Paradigits are 2 and 5. Yeah.
So the pig has the same weight-bearing digits as the rumen, 3 and 4. Okay, so if you put a bunch of pins in this area right here, like little needles,
Carpal gland.
there you go. Twice. That showed up on our last
He asked us it today.
and on our
So it's, you can see it in some of the pigs. I remember there was one and you can see it really well, but
The little holes, the little,
yeah, I know they are.
And he asked us today why they're important.
I think it's just
Just for like scent marking.
marking territory.
Because somebody was like, it makes smell, and he was like, no.
if he has pins,
They just like
that
go like
area,
rub those
that's
things,
Yeah.
like marking territory.
I don't think there's anything to mark on, right?
Okay, so
Because they use it for marking territory and scenting.
Yes, important for a territory.
They don't pee on stuff, they rub their wrists on it. True story.
What else is unique about the liver and the pig, or the kidneys rather?
They're not,
superficially.
So the kidneys are at the same level. So what does this mean for the liver? What
no renal impression.
No renal impression. He likes that as well. He didn't tag it with this specimen, but if he stuck a needle in there, yeah, this is your os rostri, because the pigs have a bone in their nose, so that's unique, something you should know. For us, it was a sagittal section of the head, so you cut it in half, so you could see the bone and then tag it. But again, like, he had never shown it to us, but that's something you should know. Like, it's the only animal that has a bone in its nose. And that's it for the male. You guys have any
So
questions?
what's the incisive cavity? They tag that now?
What?
Don't pigs have like the incisive
Baby.
cavity on the what?
Only when they suckle.
Only when they're baby now.
Can you mark the
Yeah, but
ventrilateral
also
notches?
incisive one
Yeah, you're just he didn't cross, but it's
He mentioned it today in lab.
they have
Oh, the ventrilateral notches. He mentioned it today in lab, so.
okay, so what is the dental formula of a pig?
3143. Yeah, 3143.
And how many teeth total do they have?
44.
44. Yeah. Why is that important?
just like people.
It's the most. Yeah.
Oh, they have the most teeth. Like the message is the highest number. Basically, everything's the same on the scale.
Oh, I can zoom.
So this is your uterine horn. So what's special about the uterine horns of the pig?
Biggest.
Yeah, so they're like all fleshless, I believe is the word you use.
Ugh.
What is special about this structure here? What is it? This is the cervix.
Longest.
No vaginal fornix.
It's It's the longest cervix in of all animals. Okay, so this showed up twice as well. Do you guys see these folds inside the cervix? What are these called? Pulvini cervicalis. Does that sound familiar?
Say it again.
Pulvini. Yeah, it's in your lecture notes. We tied this on our midterm for sure, and on the final as well, I believe.
What is it?
They're the
No, I heard what it is, but like, what is it?
Want to come by and read,
Okay.
you'll be able to figure it out.
Thank you.
and that's the only difference you guys need to know, like the other structures.
Longitudinal folds. Yes.
Could you put plicae circularis?
So, does the pig have a vaginal fornix?
No.
Why? Yeah, anyone?
It's like some goes smoothly to the vagina cavity and the.
Because male pigs have scary penises.
So your longitudinal folds merge smoothly with the vagina and the uterus, so you don't have vaginal fornix in the pig. Are you guys good with this? That's it. So I know it's like scary and everything, but that's literally all we focus on for us.
You told us today, by the way, if you times bladder, say urinary bladder.
Oh yeah, I remember this.